Welcome to Industry Champions. I'm your host, Chris Budihas, and joining from Miami is Eric with FIOR Scotch. Eric, how are you?
I'm doing great, sir. Hoorah!
Hoorah! Yeah. So for the rest of the world that doesn't know what hoorah is, so Eric was in the Marines, did a full career, and retired here, and he created his own company, FIOR Scotch. So Eric, tell us about FIOR Scotch.
FIOR Scotch is a Highland and Speyside blend. It is 43% 86 proof. Believe it or not, it is the first and only Black-owned Scotch and the first and only veteran-owned Scotch. So
wow.
I kind of get to stand on both aspects of that. I've won 6 awards, 2 of the biggest awards you could probably win for Scotch. And at the end of the day, I created this. Everyone, there's this real hour-long diatribe as to how I created it. I created it, this is not a joke, for my friends and family. It was never meant to ever leave my house. So I could sit back home, smoke cigars with my buddies, fellow Marines, 1 sailor, submariner, and 1 soldier. And we were supposed to just do nothing more than sit back in my backyard. They loved it so much. They pushed it for me to get out to sell to, and here I am. A few years later, kicking butt, taking names with a great product.
Man. No, hey, and that's why I wanted you to have here on Industry Champions. One, I should have said it earlier, thanks for your service. And then number 2, I knew that you were, obviously veteran-owned, but I also knew, first African-American-owned, award-winning Scotch company. And you're doing amazing stuff. So a lot of people are thinking about getting into the spirits business. For those who are, think they're not faint of heart to get in this business, what's your recommendation? Like, what was the trials and tribulations, or did you just hit it, really well and a little bit of luck, and life's been good ever since?
It's luck. I got really lucky that one of my closest friends from Kung Fu together, his name is Jim Lang. He used to own and sold a very famous label called Hypnotic. His father, his mother, his whole family has been in the alcohol or the spirits industry for approximately 4 generations. That goes back and it goes laterally as well. So when I came up with this, I created this, I just wanted about, several cases, X amount of times a year. I contacted him and I was just like, hey, how do I get this? He was going to Scotland. He wound up getting it produced. So when I decided to I asked, do you think that people would actually buy this product?
Yeah. And
he was like, with the right backing, if you partner with someone in the business who knows all the ins and outs, I think you do quite well. Hint, hint, hint. Pick me, and I did. But I am only here right now for 2 reasons. One, I have a great product. We got that. Having a great product in this industry is just not enough. You need to know someone. You need to be affiliated with someone who knows the ins and outs, because every state has their own law. Every county has their own law. In this state, I can sell directly to the consumer. In this state, I can sell directly to the store. In this state, I have to sell it to the distributor who sells it to the store. In this state, I can sell it to the distributor who sells it to the store, who sells it back to the state, who rebuys it. And if I have to be honest, this is just it's a system that I believe, and I'm very new to this, with a lot of archaic laws that are just in place because that's the way they've been doing it for the past, since Prohibition.
Wow.
And it makes it almost impossible for a person. If I didn't have my business partner, I would not be here. Okay. I would be failing. So for this, you have to partner with someone who knows what they're doing, who is already established. And unfortunately, I believe that's the sad truth of it.
No, it's funny. As I was listening to you, I'm reflecting on one company I've created and the other one that we're getting ready to launch here soon. And you're right, having the right talented people on your team is a big piece of that, right? Because, at the end of the day, if you don't have that information, one, you're going to be lost. You're going to lose a lot of money, a lot of time. Or 2, you're going to have to hire somebody, either full-time or fractional, to fill that gap, to play that position, if you will, for the company. So, having a good business plan kind of thought out in time and space. And then, man, if they're a friend that you can work with, that makes it even that much, enjoyable, if you will, and you're building a business such as yours. So FIOR Scotch, is distribution just in here in Florida right now, or are you distributing in other locations?
No, we're available online. Find us at www.fiorscotch.com. That's Fox, India, Oscar, Romeo, Scotch.com.
Okay.
I always say this: if you don't know how to spell it, if you know, you're probably not old enough to drink it. So,
Right.
that's a Scotch aspect. But we're available online. We're available in New York, New Jersey, South Carolina, Texas. We will be available in Florida any day now.
Okay.
Georgia, and we're expanding to other areas like shortly Maryland and Connecticut.
Oh, excellent.
So we eventually will make it out to the West Coast. I know a lot of people in California, my buddies, are like, you need to get out here. We have Camp Pendleton and we have this base and that base, brother. You need to. So we'll be out there.
And I imagine,
yeah, there's one more thing. When you talk about trials and tribulations, one of the biggest obstacles, like there's too many factors. There's so many factors, like legal factors, logistic factors, like things that you just wouldn't believe. Imagine if there's a shortage of glass bottles, and once you overcome that, there's a shortage of glass itself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
There's just too many things that could go wrong.
Right, and it's hard to predict one, and then for you're making the Scotch, but then you start to have other people in your supply chains that have influence on that, right? You talk about regulation and policy, but also if the distributor isn't producing, is not meeting their requirements for delivery and things of that nature, and at the end of the day, the company that gets blamed is the one that's making it, right? Not necessarily the one that's delivering it. I went through this. I will not use their name, but I used a company.
Right, exactly. I used right.
Yeah, I used the big box store to order some copies because I was getting some copies made for a presentation next week, and so the company is blaming UPS for not delivering on time, and the UPS is delivering the other company. So at the end of the day, I'm blaming the company that I bought from. So the same thing with you, and I tell people like that liability piece, and you bring up a great point on the legal aspect is, man, if you don't have good counsel, you can really, spin your wheels and get yourself in trouble potentially, especially in this alcohol industry.
Right, and then you might wait online somebody who gets you into a big chain store, insert giant liquor store chain, and then that's great, but then you don't distributor. So then you finally find a distributor, but it's a small distributor, and the large chain doesn't deal with the small distributor. So eventually you find a large distributor, and then you've timed out with the large chain because you haven't gotten their product in time. But that's not your fault. That's the distributor's fault. And then you wait online again, and it just keeps going back. We only deal with people with this large distributor. We only deal with people with this large chain. You have to get both at the right time. At the same time.
Two quick last questions. So, you're a Marine, I'm a Marine, you got the Marine Corps birthday coming up, 250 years coming up here. So you got a special brew that's coming, so to speak, here for the anniversary?
Well, actually, it's funny you say that. I was actually born November 10th, believe it or not. So I was born to be a Marine. Thank you very much. So for the 250, we are looking at maybe a Patriot edition, probably a little bit stronger in ABV. We're not quite sure because you just can't just concentrate and expect to get a good product. Operating at 43% right now. I'm hovering around 46.9, 47.2. I think that's like the sweet money maker to give something like a good bang for their buck. Yeah. But we had to get those tasters out, and then it won't take us very long. So that we're looking at that. And then the other one, believe it or not, we're looking at, I worked in the Dominican Republic for a while. I actually created their naval infantry, believe it or not. And we are actually looking at coming out with a second SKU, which is we're shipping them right now. We're taking Dominican rum casks, and we're going to be finishing our Scotch in those Dominican casks. So that's another one that'll be coming out hopefully in the next year.
Wonderful.
Hopefully the next year.
Awesome.
Depends on the aging process.
No, I appreciate that, Eric. So, Eric, last question. One more time. FIOR Scott, how do folks find you online, and how do they find you personally?
Most of my ex-girlfriends who are stalkers can find me quite easy. No, I'm kidding. But you can find me online at www.fiorscotch.com. That's Fox, India, Oscar, Romeo, Scotch.com. Again, Scotch. You're probably not old enough to drink. Or you can find us in, depending the state, we're available in New York, New Jersey area. We're available in Washington, D.C., South Carolina. We will be available in Florida soon, Georgia. And if you go to the website, they'll give you not a full list of locations, but they'll give you quite a few of the locations where to find by state and like the liquor store or the bar that sells us. So worst case scenario, if you can't find us, contact me at ericd@fiorscotch.com and I'll talk to you directly.
Excellent. Hey, Eric, number one, thank you for your service to the nation. Full career in the United States Marine Corps. Not easy, especially during the global war on terrorism. So I applaud you for what you've done. I applaud you for you being a true entrepreneur and creating this company and being extremely successful. Though you had some luck, as you stated, I know that even with the luck, you have to have good leadership and good vision, and you're providing that. So I'm going to encourage folks to reach out to you on LinkedIn, connect with you, and then go look at your products and support a veteran, minority-owned business. I think that's really important for our nation to support our small businesses as we keep this economic engine going. So thanks for your friendship, and I appreciate you coming on Industry Champions.
Hurrah, anytime. You take care of yourself. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. I'll be in contact. Hey, folks, you like what you heard, connect with Eric. I love to talk to you. Take a look at FIOR Scotch, great American-owned company, with high-quality scotch, as Eric has articulated. We'll see our next segment and live with gratitude.